Welcome to JTN's race recap from the Fast Under Armour Cup Series race at the Rockingham Speedway and Entertainment Complex in beautiful Rockingham, North Carolina. I'm Joe Swansky. You hear my voice all the time here on JTN, and I'm going to take you through this race recap, starting it with the initial start of our race. It was going to be a great one. Tommy Bordeaux on the pole again here for the second time in 2 weeks after being absent from the pole spot for many years. There you see he gets a great jump on the start. Ryan Pace, another playoff contender, scoots into second. Trey Coleman there in third, and Sean Whitehill, a favorite here at Rockingham, although he wasn't in the playoffs, still lining up there in fourth. You see these cars all night long. Tire wear was a big issue. Fall off, fall off, fall off. That's all these drivers were talking about, wanting tires at every opportunity that they could get them. As we watch these guys, you saw Sean Whitehill there, and going forward to lap 13, first incident of the night. It was going to be our favorite to win the race. Sean Whitehill in that 12 machine just loses the car down in turn 3, really loose down there, and car goes around on him. There you see Cody Luke barely getting by. Here's another angle of it. Just the car snaps around on him. Hard impact to the driver's side in the wall, but he would continue on. Lap 16, we're going to get a restart. One of our playoff contenders, Garrett Sidner, stays out to lead a lap here. He's going to take him back to green flag on the outside. Seth Cole on the inside jumbles up that inside line. That's going to allow Sidner to poke out to a decent-sized lead as Cam Barnes, a non-playoff guy, sitting there in second. You see Seth Cole goes around on the backstretch. Hard impact into the inside wall, but that 25 car, no caution there since he was off the track. Fast officials keep it green and clean. Cam Barnes to the inside takes the lead here on lap 16. Brandon Hawkin going by now. The 16 is Sidner. Tommy Bordeaux, you see him back there making a move for fourth. He's going to be able to get to the inside here. And this was only after 13 green flag laps on tires. And you can already see the big difference that tires made tonight here at Rockingham. And oh boy, it was a tough one for these drivers. There you see Garrett continuing to fall back 3 wide off of turn 4. Garrett into the wall a little bit. Trey Coleman not giving him too much room. That caused the 16 to get into the wall there. Really racing hard, trying to get past these slower cars to make sure they didn't lose time. Lap 29, though, you saw the 16 of Sidner falling back, and this is where he's going to lose his car for the first time this evening. Going through turns 3 and 4, gets really high, completely opposite of what we saw with Whitehill earlier on. Spins out there up on the top side of the track. It's going to bring out a yellow here. You'll see the leaders coming by, putting him a lap down, so those tires really wore out as we move on to lap 38 here. It's going to be another incident, this time for the 25 of Seth Cole. Gets loose in the upper lane, spins out, hard impact into the wall. That's going to be another yellow here at Rockingham for these drivers. We move forward to the lap 44 restart. And it's going to be a tough one for these guys. We're going to see a lot of jumbling up of the field at this. Cam Barnes in second place on the outside gets a good jump on the restart. Almost too good of a jump. Driver's a little suspicious of that, but you see Tommy Bordeaux hanging out tough on the inside, but that outside's going to be able to roll the momentum here on the restart. Give Cam Barnes the lead off of turn 2. He takes it from Tommy Bordeaux after a bad pit stop that put the 42 into second place. See back there a battle for third between Ryan Pace and Brandon Hawkin. Again, Brandon already to the next round. Ryan just needing a solid run to solidify his spot into the final 4. But Cam Barnes leading here as we are on lap 45. We look ahead in just a moment here. We're going to look ahead to lap 61. This is going to be the end of the night for one of our playoff drivers, and unfortunately, it's first-time playoff driver in his rookie season here at Fast. Garrett Sidner loses it going down into turns 1 and 2. Car goes around on him, and a tough break for Gert in that 16, but you can see him Saturday night in the USORL playoffs. Lap 64 again, and this restart. These restarts were crazy all night long. Restart right after that last incident. Tommy Bordeaux, Brandon Hawkin, your front row. Randall Coleman with one of his alliance mates, Cam Barnes, on row 2, and Tommy's going to scoot out to a lead here, and it looks like Brandon's probably going to have the momentum to be able to roll the top, scoot into second. With Randall Coleman still on the inside, falls into the line, so he's sitting there third. Cam Barnes in fourth. Ryan Pace, Trey Coleman battling for fifth back there as we continue to watch the 9 car of Coleman. You're going to see the 22 big time loose off the corner, but we'll continue to watch this battle for the 3rd position. Cam Barnes still looking to the inside of Randall Coleman in that 9 car. Still looking, hits the apron a little bit. Oh, and there's contact. 9 car up into the wall. 42 into the inside wall. Not as hard damage on that 42, but the 9 car heavy damage to the front end of that machine. That's going to end Randall's night competitive-wise. He'll try to continue on for a little bit here. But that was tough break between alliance mates. Here's the look back at what happened with Ryan. Pace in that 22 Kodak machine just got loose off the corner, but did a great job of saving it, woed it down, didn't hit those barrels, and kept his playoff hopes alive. And from the helicopter cam, a tough break there, just hard racing between the 42 and the 9. And don't know if you need to be racing like that right now, but just a little mistake, and it ended the night of one of our playoff hopefuls, Randall Coleman. So 2 of our 6 playoff guys currently out of contention for this win. Here you see Randall Coleman, lap 78, drives it down pit road. It's going to go right into this wall, quits the game after the heavy damage there, and tough break for him getting involved in that incident, but that brought out a caution there on lap 78. Lap 86, this is the restart after, so it's lap 78 for Coleman, but lap 86 for our leaders. Tommy Bordeaux and Brandon Hawkin on your front row, and we're going to watch this 57 car. Tommy Bordeaux, car all of a sudden got evil. It got wicked loose on him down here in turns 1 and 2, and you'll see it coming off of 2. 57 is going to make hard contact with this outside wall. There you see it. That's going to slow his momentum down. Allows the 21 of Mikey Marotta and the 12 car Sean Whitehill to get to the inside. Mikey moving up into 3rd. The 57 and the 12 battling for the 4th position here. And you need all the points you can get. These guys all knew tonight they had to get as many points as they could. Help solidify their night. And Tommy was fast all night, so tough break for him getting that damage. But we'll continue to watch here. Working lap 87. And there you see, he's just finally gets back into the groove of things and working his laps there in that number 57 TWB Technologies, TWB.com Toyota Camry. So we'll move on. We see Brandon Hawkin, your leader, but it wasn't for long. Going forward to lap 97, the 99 car is going to start struggling here throughout the run. Maybe saving a little bit, but here you see Trey Coleman looking to the inside. Knows he needs to beat that 21 car because that's his stiffest competition right now. Outside looking in. 21 car and the 2 car, the only 2 cars coming in tonight that were on the outside that are still racing. There you see Brandon continuing to fall back. His teammate goes to the inside, Tommy Bordeaux. So move Mikey into 2nd, Trey to 1st, and Tommy to 3rd, and push that 99 car back to 4th. It's hard contact with the wall for the 57. That's a tough break right there for Tommy. More damage to that right side of the car. And that's going to cause this lap 112 of the leaders, the 57 team. They're going to be the first ones to come to pit road. And you're going to see it right here. Just does a great job getting to pit road, but he's the first one to come. So Tommy Bordeaux is going to come get those fresh tires. Those fresh tires are going to be really important for these drivers. And one of our guys is going to see that the next time by on the next lap, lap 113. Mikey Marotta is going to come down pit road, get his 4 fresh tires. You'll see him coming to pit road here. Just as there he is. Does a great job. Woes it up. You see right side damage. The lap previous hit the wall going off of turn 2. And he makes the move to come to pit road to hopefully get in front of that 1 car Trey Coleman and make up the points that he definitely needs very much right now. So we move on to lap 133. Who do you think's going to pit? Who do you think it is? It's going to be none other than a guy that definitely didn't need to pit here, Trey Coleman. I mean, he probably had to pit for tires, but this pit stop is what's going to cost him his shot at the championship. The one team comes down and has to take 4 tires. You see right side damage there as well. Trey Coleman comes to pit road, lap 133. It's going to be for not on our final lap. You saw Brandon Hawkin. He fell back at the start of that run, and I got an idea that maybe he was saving his stuff a little bit. Here you see he's going to take the white flag here. One more time for Brandon Hawkin, this 99 Borrell ART Toyota Camry. Doing a great job. Just kept the tires on it the entire run through the rest of the race, and that ended up being what got him into victory lane down Thunder Alley, the back straightaway, with all those fans in the stands here at Rockingham. But there you see Trey Coleman's going to look to the inside, try to get a lap back. I think he's going to think wiser of it off of 4. He does. Just no need to run that 1 car an extra lap. Not going to make up a position. And Brandon Hawkin, burn it down, buddy, wins at Rockingham, sweeps the round of 8, and has all the momentum going into next week at Texas. We'll now go down to Victory Lane for our interview with our winner, and then we'll head on through the rest of our interviews with our podium, which is all our Final Four, and then our fourth Final Four driver. All right, post race here down Victory Lane with Mr. Brandon Hawkin for the unbillionth time. Brandon, congratulations on your win. How's it feel, have all this momentum going into next week?
Wait, Joe, yeah, feels great, especially coming from a track like Rockingham. It's a really tough track, really abusive on tires, and yeah, you just gotta keep running your race the whole race, and hope to make it to the finish line. So yeah, it carries a lot of momentum going on into Texas. It's Texas is a really fast track. It's gonna have a lot of competition as well. So it's gonna be pretty interesting. But yeah, to have a win at a place like Rockingham just before the Final Four definitely helps the momentum for sure.
Yeah, and another thing that we now know is that your teammate Tommy Bordeaux is also going to be in the Final Four. Throughout the race, you two were up there towards the front, racing very hard, but maybe not as hard as you do on a normal basis. What goes into that, racing your teammate knowing he's got a lot more on the line than you do?
Yeah, you just got to be careful, like not try and like risk anything and do anything stupid. So yeah, but yeah, Tommy and I had a really good run up front there, and yeah, he's been on it the last few weeks. So yeah, he's going to be one to watch out for in the Final Four for sure. And yeah, just trying to run as fast as I could, but yeah, you got to be a little bit extra careful with everybody fighting for a Final Four spot. But yeah, just on that final run there, just decided to start saving fuel because I remember there was a Dash Series race, I think, about probably around 2017 or so, where I think we had like 3 green flag fuel runs, and yeah, the winning strategy was to pit the least. So yeah, I just decided to do that, and I was just able to barely hang on to the tires there at the end. But yeah, really good run today, and yeah, great racing from everybody.
Yeah, and those tires, all night people are having issues with the tires wearing out really, really fast. And we saw lap times falling off a second, second and a half, 2 seconds by the end of a run. You and the 99 team, though, you guys did a really great job of keeping the tires on the car, especially for that last, 60 or maybe just a little under lap run. Was it just you being a little more conservative at the start of the run, or was it just something where the car was built to do that, so it did it?
Maybe a little bit of both. I always bring a really loose setup to the track, so that helps. But yeah, I was just trying to not drive too hard going into the corners because it really does eat up the front tires if you kind of send it in there. So yeah, I was just backing up my corners, riding it right along that yellow line because you find a lot of speed there, and just yeah, just not try not to drive too hard because yeah, Rockingham is such a hard track on tires. So yeah, if you had a full green flag or green flag run, yeah, the guy who saves the tires the best is probably going to come out on top. So yeah, just in case it went green, I just made sure I was just clutching to save fuel and taking it easy on entry just to save the tires, and yeah, it worked out in the end.
And before we let you go, Brandon, again, congratulations on your win. That was a great strategy call there to make it to the end. But here's your moment. Make sure you thank all those people that make sure that 99 car gets out there on track every week.
I just like to thank everybody at PTR, Fast Racing League. Yeah, Tommy's really fast tonight, so yeah, that was a ton of fun racing with him. And congrats to Mikey. I think he just locked up the Final Four there, and I'm not sure who the third driver was, but yeah, congratulations to all the Final Four, and yeah, looking forward to Texas for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna have a Team Twansky PTR battle for the championship, and this is usually the point where I tell you good luck next week at Texas, but I don't know. You've been so dominant this year. I don't think you need me telling you good luck. I'm going to give it to my 2 drivers. So that was Brandon Hawkin, driver of the number 99. Congrats on the win, Brandon.
Thanks, Joe.
All right, now down to Mikey Marotta, our second place finisher. All right, down here with Mikey Marotta, driver of the number 21 Ford Motorcraft, Ford Mustang for Team Twansky. Mikey, you did it. You're moving on to Texas, baby.
Oh man, Yeah, can't say I expected this, but here we are, second place.
And going into tonight, you were on the outside looking in. You're the only guy out of the final four that was in that position. What are the emotions like right now? I know you kind of short for words with it all, but try to do your best to tell these viewers at home what it's like to make it to this final four in the Fast Racing League.
Well, I've definitely calmed down a little now, thankfully. But a few years ago, 2017 was like my best shot since this to make it in, and I didn't. And now it's kind of weird. It's like this next week, and it's like you still got a shot. I mean, it's great, but it's a little uncharted, to say the least.
Now, that last run is really what got you and the 21 team into position to make it here with the varying strategies. What was the thought process behind the call to pit a little bit later than Tommy, but before some of these other guys that you were running with?
I'm actually not sure who pit first, but I just kind of heard that and figured I should do it too. So thank you to whoever that was. But then I was just lucky enough to have it go green to the end because I was thinking Trey wasn't going to be able to last on those tires. I guess it turned out to be true.
Yeah, and tires, they were a big deal tonight. You and the 21 team, we saw you guys were towards the back half of the top 10. Was the car just a little too tight for your liking? We saw you lead a lap early, you're up front, but then you kind of fell back in the middle of the race.
It was all over the place, to say the least. But I think I took out a little bit of track bar or something that helped. I think for the most part, I think especially in the second half, I was battling Trey for the lead. That was probably the best it was handling all race.
Yeah, okay, so with all this behind you, you got to reset for next week. What's the mentality going into that Final Four, your first Final Four, when the three competitors around you, they're all former champions here in Fast?
Well,
I had to put it that way. I had to put it that way.
I know, but I guess you just gotta treat it like another race, just as far as to keep the nerves down. But I mean, this is it, so we're gonna give it everything I have.
And what's it going to take next week to get that 21 car into victory lane with the big championship trophy?
Yeah, I don't know, but I have a feeling you guys might just find out.
Come on, Mikey, you got to let us in a little bit. But before we let you go, make sure you get all those sponsors on so we get those paychecks over at Team Twansky for all these beautiful sponsorships that we're going to have rolling through the door.
Oh yeah, for sure. Ford Motorcraft and Quick Lane, all been on the car all season. The paint scheme's never changed. And to my teammates, John, oh geez, nice, Sean, Joe, and Ryan. Here we go.
Well, Mikey, I know it's a crazy moment. It's a good moment. That first Final Four, it's a great feeling, and enjoy it this next week. Enjoy it the week after, because, I mean, the worst you can finish right now is fourth in the points, and that's still pretty darn good.
That's still my best by a few spots, I believe, too. So
exactly. So enjoy it, buddy. We're gonna give you the best car we can next week at Texas, and good luck there. And we hope to see you in Victory Lane.
Yeah, thank you.
And that was Mikey Marotta, driver of the number 21 Ford Motorcraft Quick Lane Ford Mustang. There's a lot of Fords in there for Team Tuanti. We'll go down to our third place interview with Tommy Bordeaux. All right, down here, he's just leaving Victory Lane, congratulating his teammate Brandon Hawkin. We're with third place finisher Tommy Bordeaux. Tommy, you're in the Final Four, buddy. How's it feel?
Yeah, Joe, we did it. Had a really good chase leading up to this point. Had a fantastic round, sweeping the polls both at New Hampshire last week and North Carolina here tonight. Really excited to see what we can do at Texas next week. Just getting the opportunity to compete in this series and to make it to the Final Four is a big accomplishment. And it's been a while since I've been able to have one of these opportunities to go out and get another championship. So we'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, you talk about getting another championship, but let's start with just tonight. Let's look at tonight. That last restart, that 57 car, it looked absolutely evil on you out there in that outside line. Talk about that.
Oh, it was terrible. And, when you get out there on a restart and, you don't know if it's going to be the last one or not at a track where track position's important, tires are important, any ground you lose is going to be really frustrating. And so I wasn't too happy. And later on in the run, I just didn't even, we had some lap cars racing up with the leaders and I, kind of lost some ground there too and a lot of spots. And so even though that was frustrating in the moment, it was kind of the catalyst for me to try something different with strategy. And it paid off great. I got to say, sometimes there needs to be some dark before the light, and I think that's kind of exactly what happened at this race.
Yeah, and you did something very different from your teammate who won the race. You decided to pit, and you were one of the first guys to pit. What went into that strategy call?
Well, I had lost a bunch of spots, and I wasn't going to get back up there if I did the exact same thing. There was just going to be no way, and the tires were terrible. Car was getting away from me a couple times out of two, so I just decided, you know what? I'm going to gamble on this thing going green to the end. I don't think there's going to be a lot of yellow to trap me. I'm just going to go for it. New tires are always big here, and it paid off big time tonight. Sometimes, Joe, you got to roll the dice.
Yeah, and you're definitely one of the guys that likes to roll the dice. We saw your first fast win. You rolled the dice at Las Vegas, and that was a crazy one. Tonight started off a crazy one, and then kind of settled out for that last green flag run. But now you talked about trying to get back to get another championship. Next week's Texas. What do you have to do next week at Texas to win this championship?
I feel like the first thing that's going to come into people's minds is going to be to beat Brandon, but you can't just focus on one guy. I mean, you've got two other competitors out there with me and Ryan and Mikey that are going to be fast. To win the championship, you got to beat the field. So for me, it's just going to be going the fastest I can. And unlike 2018 at Homestead when I was in the Final Four, if you're in the lead, don't wreck yourself out of it like I did, unfortunately, back then. So I've been in this position now a few times where I'm in the Final Four. I've had some success. I've had a failure, but this year, to be honest, it just feels good to be back in the Final Four after being out for 2 years, So, yeah, whatever happens is going to be at least a good experience for sure, just to be back there.
Yeah, before we let you go, you're the king of doing it. This is your time for all them sponsors that you love so much.
Absolutely. We couldn't do it without my PTR team, Brandon Hawkin, Davey Hazard, everyone in the Toyota umbrella. We've been fast all year long, really have. And I think of all the manufacturers that have won, I think maybe Toyota hasn't won maybe 3 or 4 races. So it's been a big year for us, and certainly having 2 Toyotas in the Final Four with Brandon and I at PTR, that's going to be huge. And then also just TWB, greatest company on the earth, TommyBordeaux.com, best website you can find on the web. And hey, go check it out, man. Right now it says 10-time online racing champion. Hope to make that 11 this time next week.
Yeah, for sure, Tommy. I would tell you good luck, but I got 2 of my guys in that Final Four, so I gotta kind of tell them good luck. But for all the folks at TWB, they're such a big supporter here of JTN. Good luck to them. I hope they have fun next week at Texas.
Thank you. We plan on having them in a socially distanced luxury suite. It should be a good time.
And it definitely will. That was Tommy Bordeaux, driver, the number 57 TWB Technologies Toyota Camry for PTR. And we'll go down. We'll tell our last driver that he's into this Final Four. All right. Last driver we're catching up with. He's not the last driver in the Final Four, but Ryan Pace, driver of the number 22 Ford Mustang. You're going to Texas next week, buddy.
Thanks, Joe. Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going to make it. It was a tough night. We battled all the way to the end for every spot we could get just to be sure. I'm glad to be on the road to Texas. We can start all over, points reset. Heck, points don't even matter next week. We're just going to try to finish best out of the 4 of us.
Yeah, and tonight we saw some varying strategies that last run. You and the 22 team, it looked like you were going to go on the same strategy as the 99 car, but you ended up deciding to pit. Why was that?
Oh, it was not by choice. I mean, we did end up having to pit, but it was not by choice. That was the plan. We committed to it that run from the very beginning, tried saving tires, but it wasn't enough. About 10 laps to go, I could feel that the tires starting to tear apart. I didn't think we were going to make it to the end. I did not want to be the caution. I did not want to affect the outcome of that race. Likewise, I didn't want to wreck the car and ruin the chance of the finish we had. So we just came down pit road. Didn't even take 4, just took 2 tires, enough to get us home to finish the race as soon as possible.
And throughout the race, at this first half, it was littered with cautions. Mentally, you have to reset a couple times during that, don't you?
Yeah, that was our goal all night. Each run was to take it easy, try to conserve tires, and each time we'd start to get into a run, start to get into the rhythm. I was hoping we'd get to the point where saving the tires would pay off, and then a caution would come out, and we'd have to get reset, start all over again. It takes a certain mindset to hold back here at Rockingham. You want to go fast, but you got to hold back to save those tires in the long run. And so each time a caution came out, you got to get mentally prepared to reset, and that happened each time. And then in the end, when we finally went green, I was sort of surprised. I mean, I thought maybe we'd get another caution just because they've been coming every so periodically.
And with that all being said, you're on to the Final Four. What is the goal? I mean, the goal is obviously to win the championship for all the guys at Team Tuwanski, but is there anything like, what do you got to do next week? What do you got to do next week to win this title, close it out?
With the 4 guys we got here, you got to win. It's simple as that. Brandon, I mean, he's won most races this year. I think it's been over half. He goes out there, and it's tough to beat him. You're going to have to win probably to beat him. Same for Tommy. Tommy's been running up front every single week. He got a second place tonight, and I know he probably wasn't even really happy with his car. Or he was running third. I'm sorry, he finished third. He was running second there at the end. And I know he wasn't even happy with his car. So if he can get it set up at Texas, he'll be there competing for the win. Mikey, too. Mikey did end up finishing second tonight. He'll be up there at the front next week. All 3 of those guys we're competing against finished in the top 3 this week, so we got to step it up, bring our A game next week. We're sort of behind coming in. Luckily, points don't matter. It's just whoever finishes highest. But the goal is going to be to win the race. It's going to be tough to win the championship and not win with how talented my competitors are.
Yeah, and with all that being said, we're going to let you go in just a second here, but you got to thank all the pretty sponsors on that beautiful Kodak car.
Yes, thank you, Joe. I want to thank Kodak, first of all. They're going through some tough times. They were back. They're still back. Don't believe everything you hear. I want to thank Shell Pennzoil. They've been with us for several years. You'll see them on the car next week. Plan B Sales, great die-cast deals. Check them out. Moneyline, AAA, NutriChomps that we got the associate sponsorship. Everybody here at Team Tuwanski, you, Joe, Sean Whitehill, Michael Marotta. It's been a fun season. I can't wait to go out, hopefully on a high note next week with the 3 of y'all. And I want to thank all my competitors as well. Brandon and Tommy, it's been fun racing you this year. I can't wait to race y'all next week, hopefully for the championship. Be there at the end. And as always, I want to thank the fans. Without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Thanks for watching. Look for us next week at Texas. We're going to put on a good show.
And that you guys are definitely going to do. That was Ryan Pace, driver, the number 22 Kodak Ford Mustang for Team Tuwanski. Congrats on making it to this Final Four. I know the result tonight wasn't necessarily what you guys were looking for, but made it to that Final Four by 7 points, or however many it was, you made it. That's all you got to do. Good luck next week at Texas.
Thank you, Joe.
Thanks for those interviews, Joe. Great job as always after the race, climbing out of the car and getting out to it. But here you see our playoff grid. We've shaped up our Final Four: Brandon Hawkin, Ryan Pace, Tommy Bordeaux, and Michael Marotta. And it is going to be a spectacular race at Texas. You see Randall Coleman, Garrett Sidner, Joe Tuwanski, and Trey Coleman not being able to make it to the next round. Trey Coleman obviously having those 6 points going into this round. It was a thought that he'd be able to get it done, and after New Hampshire it looked like that, but a late race gaffe on strategy caused that one team to miss the cut for the round of 4. So move that 21 car up into there. As the team owner for that 21, I'm happy. But with all that being said, it's going to be a great race next week at Texas, and you're going to find out more about that race as we continue on. But we're going to deep dive into our playoff drivers in just a second here. But the 2-car, 16, 9, and 1 cars all eliminated after this round to make it a Toyota versus Ford, PTR versus Team Tuwanski battle. And we'll look, here you see Brandon Hawkin, our first contender, and probably, not the fan favorite necessarily, but the favorite to win the championship in his number 99 machine. 12 wins on the season, 13 top 5s, 14 top 10s, and the thing you see there, the average finish, 1.43, and our other 3 championship Final Four contenders, they're going to be looking to try to push that average down. Brandon definitely has a great shot to win the championship, and he's definitely the favorite to do so behind the wheel of that number 99 Toyota Camry. Just a phenomenal season for the 99 team, and there's not a lot more you can say about Brandon. Just dominant here and fast, and sometimes stinks up the show, but when you're the best at what you do, you're allowed to do it, and Brandon is definitely one of the best at what he does here at Fast, and hope for him and the 99 team, they're definitely hoping to bring home the championship next week at Texas. We'll move on to another guy. Brandon's a former champion last year, and this guy, Ryan Pace, also a former champion, won the championship with Revolution Motorsports. They don't have a car in this Final Four, but Ryan is in the Final Four on the Team Twansky. Number 22, Shell Pennzoil Ford Mustang next week at Texas. One win on the season. That's the one thing that he has over our next two playoff drivers. He has a win this year, 8 top 5s, 15 top 10s, an average finish of 7. The second best average finish out of our 4, and Ryan's going to be looking to continue to build on some momentum. They've kind of been sleepwalking through the playoffs, and with all that being said, now's the time for that 22 team to put it together and strike here at the Texas Motor Speedway next week, and Ryan's definitely going to be trying to do that, and I know that 22 team is going to bring the best car, the best setup, the best thing that they have next week at Texas. Another guy that's going to be doing that, and you've heard his voice many times here on JTN. It's Tommy Bordeaux, driver of the number 57, TWV.com, TWV Technologies, Toyota Camry for PTR. And here's the second of our PTR cars in this Final Four. Tommy, 10 top 5s. He's got Ryan beat on top 5s, but 13 top 10s, an average finish of 7.5. It's been boom or bust for this 57 team in the races that they've been in. They either finish really good or a wreck happens and they get caught up in it, but they've been on a top 5 streak as of late throughout the playoffs, and that 57 team, they're going to have to continue the momentum going into Texas, where they've always had strong mile-and-a-half cars, but there's been times where this 57 car has not been on the same page as some of these other guys at the mile-and-a-halfs, so it'll be interesting to see if that team can rally, maybe take a couple notes from their teammate, although I don't know how much note sharing there'll be in that PTR shop this week, and try to win this championship at Texas. We'll move on to our fourth driver, and he's probably the fan favorite to do it, Mikey Marotta. You heard his interview, just out of words after finishing second here. 3 top 5s, 14 top 10s on the season, average finish 8.5. If there's one thing Mikey won't do next week, it's junk up his car. Mikey's been so consistent in this number 21 ride this season, having his best statistical season to date. And that 21 team, they're going to try to keep this momentum from this week, and really the momentum they've had throughout the playoffs. They had no bonus points coming in, no playoff points coming in, and they've done a great job of rallying, and I'm really excited to see what this 21 crew can do next week at Texas, because they've been strong at the mile-and-a-halfs this year compared to some of these other tracks we've run. Rockingham, he even said going into this week, was not his favorite and was not going to be a good race, and finished second. So if Texas next week is anything like that from Mikey, he's definitely going to hate it. He's going to want to hate it going in and rally to get that first place finish next week at Texas. And with all that being said, you'll be able to join us live next week, Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, for the season finale for the Friends of Sim Racers Tour Under Armour Cup Series, the championship race at Texas. Thank you all for watching. Please make sure you hit the like button. Subscribe here on JTN. We got to 200, baby, and we're going to keep chugging along to 3, 4, 5, and up and up. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Joe Twansky. For everyone at JTN, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.